So what we're going to look at is the whole question of finding a mentor and a coach and the matching process in this session. So one way in which you might go about finding a coach or a mentor for somebody is you may have a list which is published perhaps on your internet or whatever, where coaches and mentors have put their names down, and these people are approved and trained within the organisation to provide this service. On the list there could be information about the coach or the mentor that's relevant to the scheme. You could create a form for the mentors or the coaches and for the mentees and the coaches to complete in order to assist with the matching process. So for example, you would need to have the name, the job title, the current business area that they work in, the years of experience within the business, where they're located. Now that might be important if they need to travel to support their coachee or their mentee. And so the next question about other locations where they are located or visit regularly is quite important. And it's also important to know whether or not they've attended the training. So there's a question on that as well. And here we have a table which looks at the sorts of things which might be relevant to you. And they're on the left here. And then we've got the amount of experience that the mentor or the coach has. But also there's a flip side to this. It's important to look at the amount of experience that the mentee or the coachees may have. And in this way, you can look at matching people together on the basis of their experience. Also, it's thinking about what kind of coach or mentor they may be. So on one end of the scale, they could be seen as thoughtful, or they could be seen as outgoing. They could be seen as persistent or incisive, as challenging or supportive, as hands-on or hands-off, demanding or permissive, risk-taking and safe. And you could ask both the coach or the mentor to fill this in from the point of view of what they think they do, but you could also ask the mentee and the coachee to complete this as well in order to assist with the matching process. You could ask them to write a short pen picture of themselves using some headings, and there's some examples here which might be helpful. So what is their employment history, aspirations, what they bring to mentoring and coaching, and perhaps also more importantly what they hope to gain from it, and something to do with their interests and life outside work. And again, you might get the mentor or the coach to do this, but you may also get the mentees and the coachees to do it in order to give you a basis upon which to match. You could use something like Kolb's Learning Styles Inventory to help you match, and there is a web reference up here on the screen now which you might want to make use of in order to have a look at that. And you may make decisions about matching people together according to their learning styles. But it's important to remember that mentoring and coaching relationships work far better when they are voluntary. Also, the right fit can depend on gender, on ethnicity, on specific technical skills or subject matter expertise. A lot depends on what the coach or the mentor thinks they have on offer, and similarly, it all depends on what the mentee or the coachee think they might want. And the right fit can also depend on similar experiences, age, status and experience, open or resistance to change, a commitment to people development, a previous record of that or not. And people within the organisation will know who those people are. You set up an initial meeting, a chemistry meeting. Mentor can meet with the mentee, the coach can meet with the coachee, and they can have an informal discussion, a chemistry meeting, to see whether they're going to get on. And they might exchange views as to what they think this is all about, and purposes and aims and so on and so forth. What I try to encourage people to do is to commit to the first 3 meetings and then review and decide on whether or not they're going to continue. If the relationship seems awkward in this chemistry meeting, it's probably a good idea not to go ahead. But on the other hand, if it doesn't, if it seems to work, why stop? Carry on, go for it. Ultimately, it's important to remember it's not the mentor's or the coach's choice. It is actually about the mentee or the coachee. It's about their development and progress. That matching for difference is often far more productive than matching for similarity. But don't make that difference too big, because then it can become a problem. But if there's something different about the people, then it can generally add to the relationship.
There is another video on scheme design, and that's scheme design part 6.